In June of 2022, families of victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks protested a golf tournament hosted by the upstart LIV Golf League.
And I want to ask everyone to consider, who is considering to take this money, is what if it was your family? What if it was your loved one?
The amount of money Therese Aiken was referring to was staggering. Hundreds of millions of dollars paid to some of the most famous golfers in the world. All they had to do was jump ship from the well-established PGA Tour to the LIV Golf Tour. The problem for many was that LIV was backed by Saudi Arabia, a country often criticized for its human rights record. Some 9/11 families have sued the country's government. They allege that the Saudis knowingly provided support to the terror plot, something Saudi Arabia has long denied. For the past 8 years, Saudi Arabia has led a coalition against Houthi rebels in Yemen, implementing a bombing campaign that Human Rights Watch calls unlawfully indiscriminate. And even though the country's young leader, Mohammed bin Salman, is seen by some as a modern ruler, transforming Saudi for the better, he was implicated by U.S. intelligence in the abduction and gruesome murder of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. As golfers took huge paydays from LIV, the PGA Tour fought back and banned players who left.
Every player has a choice, and I respect their choice. But they've made it. We've made ours. We're going to continue to focus on the things that we control.
LIV's first season competing with the PGA Tour was bitter.
PGA Tour started losing golfers, LIV Golf sued the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour saw that it had to start spending a lot more money to keep up with LIV Golf.
The problem for the PGA Tour, which operates as a non-profit, was that millions in legal fees would hardly make a dent in the Saudis' practically bottomless public investment fund. The Saudi government uses the $700 billion fund in part to invest in sports and entertainment, along with companies in other endeavors. Critics say Saudi Arabia and bin Salman used the fund to draw attention away from controversies.
Sports washing is a phrase that we're hearing more and more in the sports world. And basically what it is a country using its sport investment to distract people from allegations of human rights violations.
The Saudi government denies these accusations. As more golfers left the PGA Tour for LIV, some who took the money weren't concerned with where it came from.
I think as golfers, if we tried to cure, geopolitical situations in every country in the world that we play golf in, we wouldn't play a lot of golf.
LIV continued to be a thorn in the side of the PGA well into its second season, which made this announcement in June of 2023 an absolute bombshell.
Ourselves, the PGA Tour, and the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, known as the PIF, are coming together to form a commercial entity that will unify men's professional golf.
The backlash was fierce.
The people that left the PGA Tour irreparably harmed this tour, started litigation against it. We can't just welcome them back in. That's not going to happen.
Those guys didn't do the wrong thing who went to LIV. They made a business decision, and I don't hold that against anybody. But I would like to be rewarded for my decision to stay loyal.
Concern over the planned partnership made its way to the halls of Congress.
Today's hearing is about much more than the game of golf. It's about how a brutal, repressive regime can buy influence, indeed even take over a cherished American institution to cleanse its public image.
PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan said that negotiations with the Saudi Public Investment Fund continue, and he remains confident a final deal will be struck by the end of 2023.
So I would say this investment is much different than what we usually see from Saudi PIF. They are not silent investors. They're not just giving money to the PGA Tour to boost up their business. They now have a seat at the table. So it's a very influential position they have, and it's basically the seat that they've been seeking for a long time now.